Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. Alright, once again, it is time for the Monday Q&A, but hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. Alright, let's get right to the point here. You guys gave me so many good questions that I decided I'm going to do a three-parter and try to answer about 15 of these today over the course of 3 different videos. So let's jump right into it. If someone has been training but did not know what they were doing, i.e. they didn't know how to train, didn't track macros, etc. But a year after they got on a structured program and started to track macros, calorie surplus, etc., would their gains still be minimal as they have gone past the initial noob gain period, or would they still be able to put on decent size? I would say for that person, if you haven't exhausted your noob gains as far as actual tissue weight on the scale, then yeah, you can still make the rest of your noob gains. You don't just not make noob gains because you haven't made them. You can train for 10 years straight, and if you don't gain more than 5 or 6 pounds of muscle, you still have a lot of noob gains left to gain. Period. Alright, next question. Fast twitch versus slow twitch muscle fibers. Does one's dominant muscle fiber determine the rep range training style in which they'll ultimately respond to best? Kind of a tricky question, because what people don't realize is that heavy lifting recruits all fiber types. And the slower twitch muscle fibers just have less potential for hypertrophy in general. So what you're going to see is that people with a higher percentage of fast twitch fibers are going to grow easier. Now, there is debates in certain circles as to whether things like dynamic effort work versus traditional hypertrophy work, that it may matter there as far as size, but this isn't proven, it's speculative. And I do know at least one expert who thinks that guys who are more fast twitch dominant will grow faster off of dynamic effort work than hypertrophy range work. But it's speculative at best. Alright, next question. How can we become better at sex without actually having sex? Like, are there certain muscle groups we should train for endurance? I'm a virgin. Alright, yeah, you can. Your main sex muscles, you can get them stronger and in shape. And remember, maximum strength increases endurance in a muscle. And people forget that. You don't necessarily have to train something for endurance to develop endurance in a muscle. So anything that trains the posterior chain, the hips, the glutes, whether it's squats, deadlifts, good mornings, or even glute bridges, is going to be potentially helpful for thrusting power. And then a strong core will help keep your abs from getting fatigued so that it will give you better stamina. So doing a lot of core work can be beneficial to you there. Yeah, absolutely. And the better in shape you are, the more stamina you're going to have in the bedroom. Alright, next question. Why is it you don't recommend undulating rep schemes for beginners? At least one study has shown nonlinear periodization superior also for beginners. Alright, good question. And this came up by another expert in the Q&A on my actual program. I think that in a well-structured program, that you're going to be able to get just as many gains as a novice than you will by incorporating more advanced methods like undulating reps. And I don't think you will actually get superior gains beyond your maximum potential by using this system that early on in your training. And I think that any sort of straight linear system will actually get the job done just as effectively without adding the complexity and confusion to a novice of tracking 2 different sets of rep schemes and 2 different progression patterns at the same time. My novice program as it is a very simplistic program, and I get 20 to 30 questions a day about this program, and people don't understand it. They find it confusing, and it's extremely simplistic. If I were to add nonlinear periodization to this novice program for people fairly new to training, just answering the questions on it would literally be a 12-hour a day job 7 days a week for me. So that's one of the reasons I don't do it also. Alright, last question in this one. What's your supplement stack? I am actually a supplement minimalist. I take 3 fish oil capsules a day. I take 5,000 units of vitamin D3 in the morning. I take 3 milligrams of melatonin before bed at night. And some days I take a generic multivitamin if I didn't eat a lot of veggies or anything that day, which is only going to be 1, 2, maybe 3 days a week because I eat a lot of veggies. It's not uncommon for me to eat 2 or 3 pounds of vegetables in a day. Alright guys, so I hope that's been informative, and I'll crank out a couple more of these for you guys later today, and I will talk to you next time.